Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Shane with Shooting Crews. Today I've got a special guest with me.
Firebox campaign, Jonathan. What's up, dudes?
Alright, so as you can tell today we've got some good wood. Usually we're shooting some more tactical stuff, but this past weekend I just picked up 3 rifles. Right here I've got a World War I era 1917 Enfield. That's made by Eddystone. And right here I've got a Long Branch number 4 Mk1. This was World War II era. And here Jonathan's got
A Rock Island 1903 from World War I.
So I just picked these up this past weekend, so ammo is going to be a little bit scarce. This won't be a super in-detailed review of each one. I'll end up doing that individually on each video, but today we're going to compare a little bit of accuracy on each of them. Down the range, we've got a target at 75 yards. Out of the 3, the 1917 Enfield and the number 4 Mk1 definitely have the best sights because they've got a rear aperture. The 1903 is chambered in 30-06 as well as the 1917 Enfield. And then the number 4 rifle is chambered in 303 British, so pretty hard to find, but let's get into it. All right, so we've got roughly we have 60 rounds of 30-06, so we're going to put more rounds downrange with the 30-06. 303 British. I lucked out actually by finding one box at Academy, and I spent like $2.30 a round. I've got some in the mail, so don't worry. Coming down the road, we're going to be spending a little bit better money on our ammo. But we'll probably do 5 rounds each on the 1903 and the 1917. The number 4, we'll probably just do 3-round groups, and then we'll go down and test them all out and see how we did. All right, so based strictly on cool factor and aesthetics of the gun, I have to probably give it to the number 4 Mk1. Even though we have the least amount of ammo, I think we'll start with this one. Jonathan, having little to no knowledge on any of these rifles, based simply on looks, which one would you choose as your favorite?
This one.
Yep, he thinks the number 4 Mk1 is the sexiest one. So we'll start with that.
It's got a stubby point. I like that.
Yeah, it does have a stubby point. All right, like I said, based on the fact that we've got only 20 rounds for the number 4, we're only going to be popping off 3-round groups. This rifle can hold up to 10 rounds, and I guess 11 if you manually put one in the chamber. So we'll start with it. I'll load 3 rounds, and we'll go from there. I did notice when I was playing with this around in my house that it does seem to have a little bit of a weak ejection, but that was with unspent rounds. So we'll see how it does with the spent cartridges. We're going to see if we even hit paper. This is at 75 yards. Yep, little weak ejection. So we'll have to check out the extractor spring, see if that could be the culprit. Alright, there's my 3. I'm going to go down and mark them so I know whose is whose. Alright, so as you can see, paper's dry, but we've got 3 hits over here on the cardboard, so might have to adjust the windage. By the way, the 303 Brit is the only one I know, at least on the battlefield side of things, that you can adjust the windage. So after all this, I'll probably take care of that. All right, now Jonathan's up. He has a little bit of an advantage over me. As you can see, my hits were hitting a little bit up and to the left, so like I said, I could possibly adjust the windage on it, but I'd definitely like to get more rounds downrange before I did so.
Ladies and gentlemen, germs. Jonathan here with Firebox Campaign, helping out my buddy Shoot.Crews. It's a 1903 Brit. We're going to send some lead, some brass. See if I can shoot better than him. Got a kick.
Yeah. Where's your phone? I can give a little bit. What are you shooting at?
Not used to shooting bolt guns. Forgive me, gentlemen. Ladies. There we go. Kind of a long, mushy trigger at first, but it does come into a pretty nice little wall. Kind of can tell where it's going to break at, so I do like that. here more or less because mine are all 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So
we got.
Jonathan did strike paper, so good job on hitting paper, I guess.
I took advantage though because Shane was aiming high. I aimed kind of low and right, so mine kind of came more center. So, but his group is better than mine anyways.
All right, so for the sake of it being June in Texas and really hot, we have a still target down there, same exact distance that we're gonna take shots at instead and see how we do. I'm gonna go ahead and use, I forget which model it is, Mk1 I believe. It's actually got this micrometer back here with a 200 meter all the way up to, looks like 1300 meter zero. It's a smaller rear aperture, so I think we stand a better chance using it as opposed to the other larger aperture. High left it looks like. So I'm gonna aim bottom right. That was a hit. All right, yep, I think I found where to hold. Very bottom right of our still target's probably anywhere from 12 to, it's about 12-inch target.
This thing does punch.
Pack a punch, baby.
Pack a punch. Is that high?
Couldn't tell. Look left.
High left.
It looked just directly left.
Well, Shane's a better shot apparently. I suck. So.
All right, that'll do it for the Mark IV today. Now we got the mighty 1917 Enfield. This is the oldest gun of the pack, I believe. Contrary to popular belief, the 1903 was the standard issue rifle for U.S. troops in World War I. However, due to production reasons, the U.S. was producing the pattern 14 rifle for the Brits before the U.S. entered the war, and because they already had all the machining already set up and ready to go, they started producing the 1917 Enfield. Basically the same rifle, just in 30-06. And so more troops had the 1917 Enfield than had the 1903, but the 1903 is kind of iconic for that era. And for this one we'll do 5, and due to the smaller size of the cartridge, you can fit more in the 1917 Enfield than the pattern 14 because of the rim cartridge and the 303 Brit. Good ejection with this one. Some good collarbone damage as well. And Jonathan and I are going to be sore tomorrow.
Damn right. Looks high.
One more, we'll see what it does. Jonathan thinks they might all be high, we'll see. All right, not as bad as I was expecting. We got all 5 shots right here. So high right, that could just be me. But I'm not going to tell Jonathan, he didn't want to walk down here, so I'm not going to give him any tips.
So again, we're going to shoot the Enfield with some Federal 30-06. This is 150 grain, approximately 75 yards out. I've never shot this gun, but it's pretty cool. I do like the aesthetics of World War I and World War II guns. The wood is a nice finish. Really kind of brings home a good look. A lot of memories in this thing. It's older than me. All right, got 5 rounds loaded up. Move my Zen out of the way.
This video is sponsored by Zen.
Because I'm an addict. This one's definitely got a little bit more punch. That trigger's got a little longer pull, but you can still feel a little wall there. That's pretty crisp. Good ejection. The action on this one's a little tougher. Kind of got to jam it home a little further. last one. Look at that brass fly.
I got one more.
Oh, do I? Loaded 6, huh? Thanks for keeping me honest.
No, it should be fine.
Watch it go. Woo!
Real quick before we move on, I did want to mention, Jonathan was talking about it being a little tougher to kind of send the bolt home. And with the number 4 and the 1917, these are cock on close, meaning, actually I'll just set it here. So, gun's clear. On a cock on close, whenever you're pushing the bolt forward, that's when it's actually pushing the bolt back. The firing pin. It's pushing the firing pin back as you push the bolt in and lock it down. So that's that spring that you're pushing against whenever you go to actually chamber around. Now that's the case with, like I said, the 1917 and then the number 4. However, with the 1903, I'll have to send the round home. It's clear. So the firing pin is forward, but when you cock it open, there's that spring tension that whenever you lift the bolt up, it's going to push it back here, and that's cock on open. So that's your difference there. It really doesn't make a difference that I know of on whether it's cock on open or cock on close, but some people have a preference of one or the other.
Sorry, I can't. Yeah. All right.
Okay, we're going to go check Jonathan's shots and see who did better. All right, so Jonathan, having no hints as to what I was hitting, hit here, 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 and here.
My point of aim was right here because I saw his shots coming in a little high, so I aimed lower. But my group, compared to his, about the same, honestly. About 4 MOA-ish.
Yeah, but Jonathan had a good hit here, so he has the closest hit, so not bad. All right, last up, we've got the legendary 1903. It does have a flip-up sight with a peep sight, but we might try both. It's a kind of a confusing rear sight, so I don't want to be wrong on what I'm doing, but I'll put it on the 300 meter mark and then tighten it up and try with that little peep sight. This is a rock island, made actually 1 month, anywhere from 1 day to 1 month after World War I ended, so still cool nonetheless. But before we fire it, this is my buddy Cooper's rifle. He is serving our nation by protecting our airspace in the United Space Force. So thank you, Cooper.
Space Force!
And these ones are for you, buddy. Uh-oh. Our magazine got tilted, so malfunction.
Malfunction!
Oh man, that hurts, to be honest.
Cooper, looks like you got a dud.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. It's like the bottom, the back of the cartridge is falling underneath the bolt. So whenever I go to push the bolt forward, it's not catching that round. So we'll have to look into that. All right, I got 4 rounds here. I'm guessing the 5th one probably missed up in this area or above the head. This is probably likely due to me not using that rear aperture sight correctly. So take it for what it's worth.
All right, here we go. After Shane just abused his shoulder, I'm gonna load up the last little bit of 30-06 we have here out of the Rock Island. He was having some problems with the feeds. We'll see if mine does the same. Hopefully not. He was hitting a little off, so we adjusted that rear peep sight a little bit. See if I can get a better group. It's a small peephole. It's a lighter trigger, for sure. Yeah, mine's not picking up the round either. That's a problem we'll have to fix. Yeah, see, the round is just falling behind the bolt in the magazine, not allowing it to pick up. So you kind of scoot those forward. There it is. All right, we'll send one more. Come around on this side and I'll show you something. So there's a little lever here that we didn't see at first because we're not familiar with these firearms, but there's a little lever that kind of goes on and off. And once we flipped it up, it allows the bolt to cycle back more to pick up that round. So that might have been the issue.
Okay, so this was actually a magazine cutoff switch. It's put in the on switch, which, you know, I was thinking that that meant that the magazine cutoff was on. This was installed actually so that troops wouldn't go out on the range and just blast rounds over and over. They would take one shot at a time and have to flip that switch. So hopefully that that was our problem, is that it needs to be in the on switch as opposed to off. You would think it would say on if you want the magazine cutoff on, but maybe that's not the case. We'll find out.
Good ejection, and it picked up the round that time.
All right.
Looks like we fixed our problem.
Alright, and that should be an empty gun.
Alright, so I was aiming dead center, and our groups are still running a little bit high. We adjusted that rear peep sight, but we're still hitting a little bit high, but the groups aren't horrible. 3-4 MOA maybe.
Yeah, so forgive us. We're not extremely familiar, especially with the 1903. I'm not super familiar with the rear peep sights, so we're working with what we can. Coined by the famous Hickok 45, this wouldn't be a true MilCert video without smoking some pot. So Jonathan and I got a couple of targets out there, and we're gonna send it.
Boom.
Oh.
2 for 2. Shane's just smoked some pot. I'm gonna join him.
Woo!
Every time.
Woo! All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I know we are some rookies on these rifles, but like I said, had them for literally 2 days, so got a lot to learn. Jonathan, based on our our trials today, our hasty trials, on these 3 rifles, which one would you want to entrust your life to if you knew you were going off to, I know they're 2 different eras, but if you were sent off to war?
Honestly, they were all pretty reliable, but the Rock Island I had the most problems with just simply because of that action we weren't familiar with. But I enjoyed shooting the 303 Rent the best.
Yep, I think the 303 Brit is probably the coolest. However, if I had to trust my life to one, it would definitely be the 1917 Enfield. It seemed to have the best groups, again, with like a hasty 0. And this one particularly is probably in the best shape out of all 3, I think. And yeah, for being the oldest one of the group, I'm pretty impressed with how it did. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Jonathan here is monetized. I'm working my way to do that, so please stick around, subscribe, watch my videos as long as you can, and I greatly appreciate it. Peace.
Thank y'all.